Hello, and welcome to another installment of Eamon On Track. I'm Eamon Mater, and I'm here today with my guest, Chris Murphy.
Hey there.
And today we're talking about Act 3, The City Made Us by the Protomen. And I just got to ask, man, it's been, 16, 17 years since, this album has been hyped up. Do you think it lives up to the hype?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, no. 16 years was well worth the wait. I'm a big fan of this album and when it came out. I do admit I'm not the biggest fan of how it ends. It's a little creepy, it's a little solemn. I don't hate it. It's interesting choice. But it just feels like such an album full of bangers. It ends on kind of a flat note, but whatever. We can get to that when we get to that.
We will, yeah. When did you first hear the Protomen?
I think it was probably 8-ish years ago at this point. They were just it was weird. I was like, I think YouTube or something, I don't know. I came across one of their Queen covers and I thought it was like a live version of Queen that I didn't hear before. And then I looked and I was like, who the fuck are the Protomen? And then I found out that they were playing Toronto like 3 or 4 days from the moment I found them. So I was like, oh, well, I got a ticket and I went to their show and they blew me away. They were one of the best bands I'd ever seen. And I heavily got into their album at that time, which was Act 2. And I think it just come out recently around that time. Or no, not even. I guess it's been out for a while at that point. Either way, I got into their album that through seeing them live and all that stuff, and I've heavily loved them. And it felt like drip feeding for new music release ever since that point. Like they came out with the Cover Up, which was pretty good, some really good covers and stuff like that. And then there was like a couple tracks here or there, and then eventually they started like hinting and teasing at the third album, and eventually it came out. I was very
they released like a couple of songs with it, which was good. But then it took like I think 5 years out from when some of those songs came out for the actual thing.
Yeah, like This City Made Us probably came out 3 or 4 years before the whole album came out. Which is I like the title of the album too, that they went with that. I enjoy the dynamic of seeing like a perspective from like Wiley's point of view and stuff like that.
Do you come to Protomen albums for the story? Is that something that interests you about them?
Yeah, I mean, I like the dystopian telling of like Mega Man and stuff like that. It's an interesting take, and I'm just like fascinated with their ability to make these like very rock opera like jams that feel very 70s 80s influence. That seems like a rare sound these days, so I think that's what draws me to them so much.
Yeah, that makes sense. With that, I mean, why not get into the album starting with the cover?
Well, before we do that, I just want to hear what were your initial thoughts on this before, like.
Oh yeah, sorry. I thought this was an amazing album. My biggest problem was some of the in-between tracks, the in-between instrumentals. I felt like were unnecessary. That was my biggest complaint. But other than that, I thought this was a really great album. More digital than Act 2, which makes sense because in this universe, the digitalness, I feel like kind of symbolizes the darkness. The first half of Act 2 is more organic and warm. And then you get to that intermission track, how the city, something I forget specifically. And that kind of goes into the digital feeling as the city gets taken over by Wiley. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I like that.
Okay. Yeah, no, okay, cool. Because I was curious. I know, like, last time we talked, it was about Act 2 and stuff like that. You seemed pretty high on it at the time.
I still really like that album. I'm more of a fan of the second half nowadays than I am the first half, but yeah, I think this is a more solid all-around album.
Yeah, no, I agree. This is a well-crafted piece from these guys, and
Mm.
I mean, how lucky were the people in Austin, Texas to have like a 3-night event where they heard all 3 albums?
Mhm. That's so cool. So starting with the album cover, this is a really cool album cover. I feel like it almost looked airbrushed. Do you know if it was like airbrushed or anything like that, or?
I don't know too much behind it. I know they commissioned an artist to like go ahead and basically paint it. I don't know if it's an airbrush painting or if it's acrylics or if it's digital. I would
Yeah,
probably I wouldn't be surprised if it was digital, but it looks
yeah,
very acrylic and stuff like that. But I love the setting where it's just like, you get this basically shot of like
mm.
Mega Man standing on top looking over the city and
Mm.
seeing like the ultimate
Is
pinnacle
that
of
Mega Man?
Wily. I believe that's Mega Man, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Uh, Excellent then. I don't really have much more to comment about the track, so let's just start with let's just start with the track. Starting with The Calm, which I feel like a lot of good rock albums do that, or rock operas, or just concept albums do this. They have an instrumental track at the beginning, which kind of sets the tone, and I feel like this one does this great job with these big,
Yeah,
slow synths.
yeah, no, I agree. It's very the way they build it up is really tight and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's how do we put this? It's the way their ability to like draw in the listener to the atmosphere of like their world.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I definitely agree with that. Yeah. I think that one of the best points of the opening is that it sets the tone for an album, and this definitely does a great job of that.
yeah,
So,
just like it almost feels like a bit of a rain,
mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that, or like a storm, just in general.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, like you can feel that like storm coming,
mm-hmm. And I think that storm really, it gets broken through and with "Hold Back the Night." So I admit I don't really know about the story of Act 1. I haven't listened to Act 1, which I've been meaning to, but just but the female voice on here, should I know who that is from Act 1?
I mean, she's in Act 1 and Act 2. It's the gambler Kirk Douglas. She's one of the most amazing vocalists I've personally ever witnessed live.
She's amazing, yeah.
Yeah. She holds it down every time, and she's an incredibly nice person too. We've had some chats here and there. I adore her a lot. She's the perfect cherry on top of this whole conglomeration of this band,
And such a strong power to this song, and I think that makes sense. It's almost a rally cry for the people of the city, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like she says so many like lyrics that have these like strong sort of like I don't know, like rally to them,
Yeah.
Jeez.
There's this galloping rhythm on this song that I really, really love. It's just great. It really pushes the song forward. And then we get to the section with Light, where he's like, basically, everybody who could help us is dead. Blood's on my hands. We're fucked.
Yeah. I think the whole like perspective of this song is technically from the view of what's the girl's name that Light's is in love with? Fuck.
Emily?
This. Yeah, Emily. Yes. I think this song is generally from her perspective.
That's very interesting to me because Emily is supposed to be dead in Act 2, right? She dies. Protomen kills her. So,
well, that's the thing. Like, I think This whole album is sort of like a parallel to Act 2 in the sense, because there's like, you know, I think it's like when you get to it, it's like the dream. That's technically when she dies or something like that. Or, well, I guess technically she could have died. And there's a song, they do a continuation from like Act 2 in this as well. And I think that's the dream. And it sort of like explains it. But the, like, if you look at the lyrics, you know, it says like she tucks the helmet in her backpack as the windows above begin to fill with frightened faces. You know, like it's it's a good song.
It's a really good song. It's just powerful. I don't know how to explain it other than it invigorates you.
Yeah, like it just starts off with like a heavy, just a heavy kick beat, like,
and the guitar too.
All right.
Yeah, it's great. Moving on to the train yard. So I mentioned before that my biggest complaint of the album actually is the in-between song, and I still do agree with that very much so. I just feel like they don't add much, or they could have been part of other songs. This song here, like, it just doesn't feel like there's enough there. It's just kind of some sounds there that don't really
mean, that's kind of always been a part of their like repertoire, is having these like little atmospheric, these are sounds to get you into the universe of what you're doing. They're more or less preludes to the next song, if anything.
Right, but if I remember correctly, on Act 2 they were more merged into other songs, which I think I would have preferred.
I guess, yeah, I could have lightened the track listing a bit, but I could see why they didn't, you know, add another minute and a half to what would have just been a 5-minute song. Like, there's always a sort of cinematic presentation to this, you know.
The front half of this album is loaded with a lot of 6-minute tracks. I did notice that, so that makes sense. Yeah, I can see that. And moving on to No Way Back. I really like at the beginning of the song. I thought it was really cool how I think it's the ride there. It's kind of, you know, we've established we're at a train yard. The ride to me sounds like I guess the bell of like a train coming.
Yeah. Yeah,
you know
basically,
you know
it's like it's like that, like crossing like the cross, like don't cross symbol, like ding 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 ding.
Yeah,
ding.
exactly.
Like, yeah.
So I just thought that was really cute. You know, I like this is more guitar driven. Again, I think that has to more do with humanity. I think humanity in Protomen albums have always been represented by analog instruments. This is kind of light, struggling with, even if there's a way to win, like, is there even a possibility of anything?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you like looked into it, but each song has their own like specific art piece, that like poster that's contributed to the album.
No, I didn't know that. I'll have to look that up afterwards.
Yeah. They've got like a whole art series that follows this. It's really cool. But yeah, this is definitely from the view of Light. You know, he's just like reviewing his past and going stuff like that, but he can't look back because he's got to move forward. You know, and that's a good song to, you know, listen to if you're on a run or you're biking, you're working out, man.
I like how this song feels solemn but not slow in plotting.
Yeah,
it very much has its pace. Anything else to say about this song?
I don't know, man. This was probably one of my favorite tracks on the album because it's just so like driving.
Yeah, no, that's completely fair.
It's just like the repetitive, like there's no way back, we can't go back, like that stuff. I don't know, it gets me.
It's good. It's definitely really good. Next, we move on to The Storm. So another one of those in between songs, but I really like this. This is my favorite of those in between songs on this album. I I just love the sound of rain and the sound of storms, so that really gets me. Bass synth really is great accompaniment of it. I just think this is the best in between song on this album.
Yeah, yeah, it's like it's just that like like that like really deep synthy bass feel to it. Like
Exactly.
yeah, it's a solid like guitar riff, and yeah,
and you got that organ in there, which is nice. Organ is one of my favorite instruments. I'm always a sucker for that.
But yeah, it's just it's a really good build up for Buried in Red, because like Buried in Red rips so hard, man.
It does.
It's so good.
Let's talk about Buried in the Red, because you're right. This is an
the
amazing
best
song.
track on the album.
I can respect that. Yeah, I like it's almost got a speed metal tone to it. If that makes sense.
Yes, yes, so super speed metal.
Yeah, and then I love the production on his voice. It's really like sounds like a bit of chorus, a bit of reverb. It's really cool,
Yeah, yeah. It's like a screaming whisper. It's weird.
The only thing I remember noting here is that the organ here I don't think was as good near the end of the track. I just felt like it was a little too much, I guess.
Really?
Yeah.
You found that?
That's what I felt like at the time. Admittedly, I listened to it yesterday, so maybe I would feel a little different about it listening to now. But
how many listens of this album have you given it so far?
I admittedly only gave it one, but
wow,
I was writing down my notes and doing stuff like that. But
by your like third listen, you're really gonna start picking up on all the like the subtle notes and build up in each song.
Oh no, don't get me wrong. It's got this grand feel to it, but yeah. It just,
something I really appreciate about 40-second song. Oh, it's tight.
Yeah. Something about this album I really like is that it feels very fast, and it's not. It's a pretty lengthy album, but it doesn't feel like it. You know what I mean? Some albums they feel like they drag on forever. This album does not feel like it drags on forever.
Yeah, good. Like what's its runtime? 1 hour. Yeah, you get a good solid hour out of it. Yeah. And it I feel like
I listened to
less would have been
last week's album. I did Middle, I believe. Let me check here, but I believe it was a shorter album.
Yeah, the Middle, definitely. That's like punk. It's like 3-minute songs.
No, Middle by Jesse Wells. That was a shorter album. Even though that's a shorter album, it felt longer to me. I felt like it didn't have as good of a pace to it. Yeah. Moving on to Calling Out. Oh man, something I really like about this song, something the Protomen is just really good at making in general, is man, they're really good at ambiance and sound stage. They just have this fullness, this epicness to it. And I feel that from the kick drum with that big reverb on it and the sparkly synth. I feel like the female voice you mentioned, she really extends her range on this track. She hits those really, really high notes.
Yeah, Gambler, her register is insane. She hits so many levels. That's why I appreciate her so much. She's just a really great musician.
Yeah. And I mean, it's a good track narratively too. It's like this is the now or never moment for the push of the people. They got to do something now. They got to open their eyes. And I really like that. Between this and the next song, there's going to be a bit of duality between the two of them, and it's just great, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like
the city made us.
Yeah, the city made us.
Man, can we talk about this? Might be my favorite song on this album. There's only one other that I'd say hits me more, but man, I just think this album has such a swagger to it, and for lack of a better word to it.
This is definitely definitely the best album on or best song on the album, and it's why the album's named after this song. And I think it's not my favorite
Mm,
on the album because I've heard it like for the past few years. Like I've listened to it a bunch, so it didn't
mm.
feel super fresh
New,
to me,
new.
you
Yeah, okay.
know.
That makes perfect
And
sense.
so I was like, okay, this feels like an old hat, a good hat. I love this hat, great song. And I when it first came out, I was all about it. Um,
But you
I was
listen to it
hoping,
enough times.
yeah, and I was hoping even when it came out on the album, there might be a little touch of like production difference to it, something maybe, I don't
Something
know.
bothers you about what bothers you about the production?
Nothing really bothers me about the production. It's just the fact that it just sounds like the exact same song. Like it didn't seem like they didn't really do
Mm,
anything to like maybe make it more, this is for the album, like usually sometimes you'll drop a song before maybe you
right.
work on it a
Okay.
little and then it comes out for the album.
Like
I'm
a
not
solo
saying this
version
is
or an
bad
album
and
version.
anything. I think I was
Yeah.
just like, oh, I wonder if they're going to do anything different. Nope, they didn't do anything different. Same hat. That's fine. Great
But something
song, love it.
yeah. Something I appreciate about this song was when you use a lot of synths, I find that you can tend to make everything sound samey, but that beginning synth, I think, really proves that they know what they're doing with making synth sound different and
Yeah,
unique.
and then they
And
just
then,
sort of like rip into this nice like chugging thrash rock that they
yeah,
break up with like these really like chorus, this city made us, and then they'll break it up with like these like guitar riffs. It's just
yeah,
such ah
yeah, great. It's great. I really like the big reverb on the vocals at that one part. It almost sounds like it's in reverse. In reverse, I don't think it is, but it kind of gives that kind of sound to me. And I've
I
always
think
been a sucker for
it's I
that.
think it's more of a group chorus thing going on.
Mm, yeah, I could see that. But anyways, that's what it reminded me of.
Yeah.
Um, I really love the duality between this and the previous song, though. The last song was "Wake up, open your eyes." The city, the people are calling out, and instead now it's this city calling out. This city made us. Don't push back.
Yeah,
I
yeah. It's
love that.
basically, yeah, it's like, this is your time to be the hero. This is the time to stand up for the city that made all of us,
Mm-hmm.
and not be crushed by the oppression of Wiley and his robots.
Mm-hmm. Uh, moving on to hold on the distance between. I gotta do that. Okay, this is a weird thing, but the gallop at the beginning of the song, like the drums, for some reason reminded me of Barracuda. I don't know why. Maybe like I
Barracuda?
felt weird even thinking that. I was like, why does that remind me of that? But anyways, I wrote that down because it was weird to me. I think that this is the most, it's good but not amazing song on this album. I think that it doesn't stick out amongst the rest of the tracks to me, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, this is a bit of a dip from like tonally. It's just like you're on this high ride and then there's like whoosh, okay, we're gonna coast here, like way down here for a little bit.
Yeah. It's good, but good doesn't really cut it in an amazing album like this. I'd say most of the songs are like 9s out of 10s and 10s out of 10s.
I don't know how you hear Barracuda. I just listened to both of these back to back. I don't know how you heard Barracuda.
I don't know how either. I don't know how either, but that was just what came to me when I heard it. I thought it was weird. I was like, why do I hear this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, this is definitely a break, and then it like builds up for sure. Red Line, is that right? No.
Yeah, the red line.
The red line. Oh, the red line's so good. The red line's a good one.
I love the whooshing of the cars and all that stuff. It's got this great, the cars, like the sounds of the motors, the whizzing past. It's almost like things are taking action. It was weird to me that this song wasn't like. When I heard this, I was like, I'm shocked this isn't just a part of a show of force.
Yeah, well, I think that's again, I think they just wanted to make it separate because the way the show of force starts into the red line, I think for me, when I'm listening to them, I'm always confounding the two. So really, what my excitement was for more so the show of force, because it does start the guitar riff and then it snaps into the show of force. So you're right. I'm not sure why they didn't just add this as one song. But,
Yeah, it's really weird to me, but whatever. It's still a good intermediary track. Speaking of a show of force, this is, I think, the longest instrumental on this album.
Yes, but it's so good. It's so good.
It's so good. I love this. This I was looking back at it because I was like, this reminds me of something from Act 2. It reminds me a lot of The Fall. With this, it starts out slow and with these bell tolls I love, and then it just slowly starts building and building and building. The brass there too, love that.
So there's a lyrical note, even though there's no lyrics to this, but it's basically it goes as such. The street is littered with the debris from the impact of the rockets as it descends between the scorched remains of buildings. The surveillance drones provides, albeit Albert Wiley, with an unencumbered view of the destruction he has wrought. He revels in the islands of concrete now embedded in the asphalt. He smiles at the tangle masses of rebar and steel. Like this, there's a whole like story you can kind of read.
I was reading part of that yesterday as I was going through the album.
Yeah,
it's really cool. I really recommend reading those liner notes because they are so cool.
Yeah,
bring them up a bit.
It helps expand like this whole
story
universe.
Great song. And we move on to The Dream. This is the most somber track on the album in general. Just having this piano ballad out here, I love it. Wiley having this kind of talk with Emily having this talk with Light.
Yeah.
And then I love that bringing back the Emily Don't Cry for Me from Act 2. That's really fun.
Yeah, I thought that was such a like dope callback, and I was like, oh, I get this. You know, it's nice.
Yeah, this is basically the setup for the rest of the album. You know, it's him talking to her, and it basically informs Life's decision going into the rest of this album.
Yeah.
Love it. Then we move on to Light's Last Stand, and this I think is my favorite song of the album. Such a heroic song.
Yeah, this is more or less the end of the album for me at this point, you know, like even though we get the next song after this, like The Good Doctor and The Fate of Thomas Light. I don't know. This feels like it should have been the end of the album.
I can see it, yeah.
Maybe they'd have something more, but I don't know. This is a very memorable track because it's just like the drums, the clean piano, like
it's so depressing and yet so inspiring at the same time.
Yeah.
Dr. Light basically saying, I'm gonna face my mistakes and this city probably can't make it without me. So I'm going to sacrifice myself, try and kind of make things right, you know, as much as he can.
With a still beating heart from a dream they can barely recall before it all fell apart. Like, it's just great poetry.
Great poetry. This is an album in general. If you are depressed right now, and this is actually something I'm going to get into a little bit near the end of the album, but I think that this album is a great like rally against all the political unrest going on right now in America and Canada and all that sort of stuff. You know what I mean? It just feels inspiring to that sort of stuff. Raise up your voice, I guess, and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, it's this. There's a lot of anthems to, you know, encourage the people, so to speak, and that's a constant theme with the Protomen.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they're very much, you know, in disguise. They come off as like a video game genre band, but they're really, you know, a protest band.
Yeah, for sure. Moving on to the Good Doctor Geo. I'm sad to see that you say that this song doesn't hit you that hard. This is one of my favorite songs on the album. I love this beginning with the Western stylization and the mariachi-ness as Light faces his destiny, and then we get into this darker part where Light is kind of just conversing with Wiley. Honestly, I did read the liner notes for this song, and I loved it. The way it kind of describes Light meeting with Wiley, and Wiley finally killing Light, and Wiley's realization that even though he's won, what was the cost? Because he lost what was once his great friend. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I get that there's like the whole setup of these two having their like conversation and like, coming at odds with each other. I just don't know why this song doesn't always like, I'm not saying it's bad. I just never seem to remember it when I listen to the album. And I'm like, oh yeah, this song,
Oh yeah, I forgot. Every time that they do Wiley's voice, I always love it. There's something so hypnotic about that I love. It was the same on Act 2 and this album too. Just and the reverb they got on there, it's so beautiful. It sounds so cold. I love it.
Yeah, no, they're it's a good like Western standoff sort of theme, background music to it all.
Yeah,
I think because I don't know what it is about that song. It just feels very separate from the whole album, and
that's understandable. Yeah, I can see. I can say that. Moving on to the final track of the album, which I could definitely say this about, The Fate of Thomas Light. This is just an instrumental, kind of sending Light off. It's almost like a eulogy for him. I like it, but I can understand why you'd be like, nah, this isn't really what I want to listen to from this album. This isn't memorable to me.
It's not what I want to. It's not what it's like. I'm not against listening to it. Like, I appreciate it for what it is. I think it's just a really, really odd placement compared to like everything that happens before this final song. It's just like a somber, low tempo violin death note, and it ends with like a hanging noose sound.
Yeah, I was like, what? I was gonna bring that up. I was like, why is there like the gallows? Like you hear like a gallows sound. Yeah, I don't entirely understand that.
It's because like I think, I don't know if I might be misinterpreting it, but I believe Light commits suicide. It's either he commits suicide or he gets hung, I guess.
No, because I've read the liner notes for the last song. No, Wiley specifically stabs him, I believe is what it said. So I don't. It can't be Light. I don't think, unless it's more metaphorical. But who's to say? I would more like
From
to
the
bring
wall,
up.
Wiley makes a motion, and the gates open fully, revealing a simple gallows with a single robot standing atop the platform. The guards force Thomas to walk in the steps. Time slows as Mega Man crashes in the back of the great sea of people. He desperately throws innocent bodies to the side. His cries are engulfed by the din. I think
Okay, that's what it is then. Yeah.
Light slowly climbs the steps and stands beneath the crossbeam, the rope dangling in front of his face. He looks out over the crowd and for a brief instant catches a flash of blue before the cloth plunges him in the darkness. So yeah, he's basically getting hung in front of a crowd. I think they could have portrayed that a little better if they worked in some like audience like murmuring or something.
Yeah, maybe like a yell from Mega Man too, right? Like,
something like that. It's like they put in all the sound effects. There's the violin, the music, and all this stuff, but they also put in the sound effects of him like walking up and like to me, until I really read that liner note, I was thinking it was he just hung himself. I thought he was just I guess he just called it quits. But it makes more sense that he's getting hung in front of the people because Wiley would do that to Light.
It's also sending a message, right? So yeah. I think that it's just frustrating because this album, this band is just so great at building atmosphere and visual storytelling, theater of the mind through sound effects, and this song does not reach that to me.
Yeah, I mean it's theater of the mind for sure. It's just such a weird note to end what was like a very hype album.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, maybe, I mean, hopefully they come out with another album, Act 4, and there will be more to it. Hopefully we won't have to wait 20 years, but
I actually wanted to read, there's a couple things I wanted to read about that. First of all, there's a speech given by Rule during the epilogue of this song. I know you're crying, a great man is gone, and it feels like it's over, but we have to hang on. He knew nothing's worth fighting for if you can't take it down. But it won't be for nothing. He left us a way out. You can run if you need to, stop while you're still alive. But if your hands are willing, there's more to this fight. Take all you've got inside you, raise a fist to the sky, let it burn in the city. We won't lay down and die. And that combined with at some of the MagFests, I believe it was, where the Protomen performed, they gave out these wristbands, and supposedly they could be decoded to read, "This isn't the end," and "You are the spark." So I think this means two major things. I think that, first of all, this means that they're going to make another album. I think there's going to be a continuation to this story. The second thing I think that really makes sense about this is that I think that this is a message to the people about the real world. Yeah, the political unrest, how people are feeling. Do something. Raise up your voice or raise up your fist. Scream as loud as you can. Fight against the oppression that's going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
You are the spark.
That's why I dig this band so very much.
Yeah, and I just really appreciate that. Hopefully we do get another album, because I don't think that this is a satisfying way to end it, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's my thought, is like I would hope we get another album. Hopefully it won't take forever, but
who knows?
Who knows? I just, if we don't get another album, it would be kind of like a bit of a bummer ending to end it all on. And I don't think it will. I don't think that'll be the case, but
I don't think so.
Time will tell.
Yep. With that, let's move on to the ratings. So let me just pull it up here. Starting with musically, I'd say I'd give this album an 8 out of 10. Not bad. I just think that it could have been better, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
There were some weaker songs. We talked about how that last song wasn't the best. What about you?
I'd agree. I would give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, that's completely fair. Solid, but not amazing. Lyrically, I'd give this a 9. I think it's got a lot of great themes, a lot of great poetry in it. I love that.
Yeah. Lyrically, it would definitely be a 10 for me. Especially in this day and age when the lyrics of music are few and far between. Not only do we get extensive lyrics for the majority of these songs, we also get extensive, background and reading material on these songs.
Love that.
So, yeah.
Pacing, I'm going to give a 7 for some of the reasons I mentioned with the in-between tracks. For some of the reason you mentioned with the end of the album, I just don't think it's amazing.
I wouldn't disagree with that. Yeah.
So 7?
I'd give it a 7.
Cool. The album artwork, I would give it an 8. It's a great artwork, but it's just, to me, 10 is like, I'd hang this as art. And I love this art. I would put, like, if I had an album of it, I would definitely hang it up in my room. But would this be art? Yes, I was getting to that. I was going to explain. It's artistic. I love it. But I guess what I meant more was, is this art I would show to people who aren't into music, to be like, this is why I love album covers. And this is why they're so important to me, I guess. What would it be an example, I guess?
Interesting. I'm gonna give it a solid I'll give it a 9.5. I would definitely hang it on my wall if I had a poster of it.
Yeah, for sure.
I did order some posters from them, so
yeah, I mean, that's fair. Production, I give it a 10 out of 10. This production is amazing. So many things are enhanced so well by it.
Yes, it is probably production-wise their best produced album. It's very crisp sounding. There's not a lot of discrepancies with it. Like, it's really good. And some interesting choices for, like you said, some like those weird reverbs.
Are you giving it a 10?
Yeah.
Okay. So for me, it averages out to an 8.4. For you, it averages out to an 8.9, which in total averages out to that didn't work properly. I'll have to figure that out later. But an 8.4 for me and an 8.9 for you. That's pretty strong. That's really, really strong. And I'm happy with this. I love this album. Is there anything else you want to say about the album before we wrap up?
No, other than if you hadn't heard this album, you should definitely listen to this album. Potentially even purchase this album. Go to the Protomen's website and buy some of their merch and help support the band.
I definitely agree. In the age of streaming, supporting people by buying their music is more important than ever. So if you can,
buy a physical vinyl copy, CD copy, buy some shirts, buy whatever merch they've got. And any type of that, if you really love a band, do that.
Because if you're streaming, I promise you they make pennies on the dollar. So
yeah, if they're lucky.
I have nothing else to say then.
Well, I got one thing to say to Eamon. I'm gonna give you some homework. Another album, we can talk about it later. TWRP, The Longest Weekend.
Oh, a Tupperware remix party? Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. I could definitely do that. It sounds great.
Get into that band, because if you like the Protomen, they are one and the same pretty much, because there is a twerp song that has the Protomen. They did a crossover song called Phantom Racer, and it's amazing.
Cool. All right. Yeah, I'll make sure to check that out then.
Cuckoo.
All right.
Cuckoo.
Well, with that, I will see you. We will see you next time on another episode of Eamon On Track.